Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today, we are going to be looking at a relatively low level item. It is called the Centurion, and it is the unique hard leather armor. The Centurion is only level 14. It is relatively low level, and of course, you can add a socket to it, and it can become. You can find it in its ethereal form. Now, the ethereal form, unfortunately for this one, because I don't actually have the ethereal item, the defense is wrong, but I can calculate that, so don't worry about it. We will take a look at this item together, and we'll talk about what this item could potentially be used for, and why you would want to keep it around. So the Centurion hard leather armor is under some stiff competition, because around this level there are quite a few good pieces of armor to use. Most notably, the Twitch throw is a really stiff competition piece. I feel like Twitch is one of the best pieces of armor that a lot of characters can use at a low level, just simply because it has increased attack speed, increased blocking, faster hit recovery, multiple stats, and it's just a very sweet armor all around. But let's take a look at the Centurion and see how it stacks up against the the notable Twitch. So right off the bat, we have a defense of 54, which isn't extraordinary, but it's great for level 14, which isn't actually terrible. We've got a strength requirement of 20, which at level 14 most characters should have. We've got a level requirement of 14, which is going to be what this armor is judged on, is its level requirement. So we've got 52 attack rating, which is absolutely great for a lower level character. And right off the bat there, you can see when I put on the Centurion armor, one of its key characteristics is the red color. So even in the original game, when you put on the Centurion hard leather armor, you would notice your character would gain this visible sort of red sheen. And in the new version, they have accentuated that, and that red sheen is transparent through all of your equipment. So 52 attack rating can actually translate out to a rather large amount of attack rating. As you can see, I have 5,269 attack rating right now, and with the armor on, that 50 is translated out to nearly 250 attack rating, which is a rather large bonus because I have multiple skills which are enhancing it. So a raw attack rating bonus on an armor at this level is certainly welcome, and at level 14, 50 attack rating is going to be a pretty massive boost. We have a 30 flat defense added to the armor, which does mean that this armor specifically is going to be a pretty high defense for a low level, but if you were to upgrade it, it would not gain any real defense other than the base, which is a little unfortunate. But we will be upgrading it just for the fun of it. Before we go any further, let's talk about the defense of the ethereal plate. So we actually have to calculate it out, which isn't too difficult, because a regular hard leather armor is only around 21 to 24 defense. So if we run that on a calculator very quickly and we do 24 plus 50%, we will end up with a total of 36, and then we add the flat value, which is the ethereal version's flat value, and we end up with 66 defense. So not a super amazing bonus there on the defense, but if you did find an ethereal version of this, you could totally put this on a mercenary, no issue. It's definitely got some interesting things which might help keep your mercenary alive. So not a bad choice if you happen to have it around. If you happen to find an ethereal Centurion, just go ahead and slap it on your mercenary for a little while. Let her survive with it. All right, so as we go forward, we also have here a 15 to life bonus, which at a really low level, you will see that it actually is not bad. We only have 54 life to begin with, so adding a decent amount of life to that is not bad. And I ended up with 69 life. 54 to 69, who knew? We also have Replenished Life 5, which is absolutely excellent to have at this level because it will help you regenerate, and it can be paired with something like a prayer merc, and other pieces of equipment, like, for instance, man-old heals, all sorts of things like that. And through the process of stacking Replenished Life, you can actually get your character to the point where they're relatively unkillable around this level. You just have to have enough Replenished Life equipment on. Now, later on in the game, Replenished Life equipment sort of tapers off, and you need more and more of it to get the same effect. But I doubt you would be using this particular armor for Replenished Life later on, because there are some better options. We also have 15 to mana, which is a lot at this particular level. As you will see, my paladin only has 14. So when you put this armor on, you'll get a pretty nice bonus to your mana. And if you are not putting any points into energy, as most paladins do, you will probably have no issue. And as I show it, I have 200 mana points in here with only 29 energy. If you're wondering how that works, that's Hero Editor. We also have 15 to max stamina, which at level 14 is going to be very nice, because quite honestly, there are lots of stamina issues around this level. We also have 25% slower stamina drain, which again is very nice, because lots of stamina issues around this level. I'm repeating myself. And damage reduced by 2. Now at level 14, damage reduced by 2 is actually pretty massive. If I was a level 99 character, damage reduced by 2 would be awful, and I wouldn't really care. However, in this level, in this particular zone of play, damage reduced by 2 is pretty massive. So not only is it giving you a boost to your HP, it's giving you a Replenished Life to replenish your HP, it's also reducing all incoming damage by 2, which is going to help keep you alive. So this piece of armor is really doing one really cool thing. It's keeping you alive. The boost to your stamina is definitely very nice early game, because it can help you not be frustrated with the constant stamina loss. Although it's kind of wishy-washy here, because I feel like at level 14 you've made it to Act 2, and by the time you get to Act 2, usually you have your stamina issues mildly under control, but not completely under control. And at this point, you're usually looking at wearing some other interesting pieces of armor. But as a melee character, one that's in the thick of it a lot, one who might want a Replenished Life, especially a Shapeshifter Druid that tend to have a lot of issues with potions around this particular level, this particular item could be useful to those particular characters, especially Shapeshifter Druids, because they would not be getting the bonus effect from Twitch Throw's increased attack speed, and so something like the Centurion may look like a little more appetizing to them. And I also had a lot of issues with stamina while I was leveling up my Shapeshifter Druid as well. So, interesting. And we're going to take these armors and we're going to upgrade them. So give me just a second, and we're going to head over to a character who has a Herodra Cube, because I just noticed this one does not. Alright, so here I am on my Barbarian, and we have the correct runes. So we're going to take the non-ethereal version first, and we're going to put it in there with a Perfect Diamond, a Shale Rune, and a Tal Rune, which is going to upgrade us from a 54 defense with 20 strength and 14 level requirement to a 166 defense, 50 strength, and level 30 requirement. So not the greatest upgrade there. But we did get a little bit of defense, though, which if we didn't have anything else, maybe we could just do that. The Shale and Tal Rune and the Perfect Diamond are not hard to come by, and it's really not that big of a deal. Let's do the Ethereal version next. So the Ethereal version is not going to have a huge upgrade because it has no enhanced damage, but we will get a little bit of a bump. And this one is going to go to 217 defense. So not like a ridiculous bump in defense there for the Ethereal version. And we can, of course, upgrade this a second time. Now, the second time that we upgrade this, it's going to go to the Elite version, and it's going to have a relatively high defense, high level requirement, and relatively high strength requirement as well. So we're going to go from 166 defense, 50 strength, and level 30 requirement to 445 defense, a 95 strength requirement, and a level requirement of 63. It really doesn't have the stats to be upgraded a third time. In fact, it really doesn't even have the stats to be upgraded 2 times. I feel like even even at 1 time, even the first upgrade, I feel like is not really quite worth it. We also have the Ethereal Armor, so let's go ahead and upgrade this one with the Lem, the Co, and the Perfect Diamond, which has 217 defense, 40 strength requirement, and level 30. And that goes to 667, 85 strength, and level 63. Now, this particular armor I feel like shines at level 14. If it's going to have any particular use for you, it needs to be used on a lower level character, and I feel like the upgrades to this are just a waste. The stats on this really revolve around a in-your-face melee character, especially one that has no requirements for increased attack speed, because I would rather be using a Twitch. So the way I see this is this particular armor would be great on a Shapeshifter Druid or a Shapeshifter Bear. It could also be relatively good on a character who is not going into melee, because the plus to life, the plus to mana, the replenished life, and the increased stamina will definitely be nice for those characters who are running around and not specifically getting hit. So, you could throw this on a bow girl early on, or maybe a low-level Act 2 mercenary. You could probably put this on an Amazon, a druid. I mean, if you didn't have anything else, it would definitely be a nice piece for a paladin or a barbarian. But I feel like usually people have something better to put on other than this. It does have that really pretty look to it, though. It really does make your character look very nice and red, like a fireman. There's really not much more to say about this particular piece of armor. If you want to find this, it is relatively low level, so it's probably going to drop just about everywhere in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, normal difficulty, and beyond. There's a chance even you could find this, believe it or not, from Bale in Hell. It all has to do with the fact that if a hard leather armor drops, there is a chance that it could be a Centurion, and that's really all there is to it. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.